My son says that he will jump off the metro tracks if I do not get him this particular bike. My daughter says she will cut off all communication with me if I don't take her shopping to this particular place. You know what my child told me yesterday? He said, family is not needed. If you can't give me what I want, what use are you? I have lots of friends who will give me whatever I need and whatever I want. Welcome to Kanika's Corner. I'm a counselor and a mother of 2 children. This channel is all about my experiences and my learnings. I've worked with hundreds of families that come to me in crisis because their teenager is asking for something impossible, is asking for something beyond the means of the family, or something that the family is not ready to give at this point. The crisis is because the teen threatens the family saying, if you do not give me this, then I will harm myself in some way. I will run away from the house. I will instead go to XYZ because I know they will give me whatever I want without any of the conditions that you give, right? As a parent, that's a really scary proposition, to not know if your child is going to do something to themselves, to do something to others, to do something life-threatening. You don't know. And so it's so much simpler to just give in and give them what they want. And you will reach that one critical point where you cannot give them what they are asking for. They are asking for something impossible. They are asking for something out of your means. And when you can't do that, that is when that break point in the family happens, all because the boundaries haven't been set early on. So as I worked with all of these families, with teenagers, going through so much of trauma, it got me to looking at why is this happening and what can I do to make a difference in my children's life and our lives to make this whole process so much easier. It is as simple as setting a boundary, understanding limitations, and everyone agreeing that this is okay and this is not. Did I say simple? Did I say simple? Not always simple, but absolutely worth the effort. It all comes down to this one thing that we can do differently for our children in their early childhood years, up to the age of 10, and make everyone's life so much happier. It's important to start. I like the saying, better late than never. It's also never too late to start. In case you have been giving your child anything that they want, no matter what age they are at. And teaching a 10-year-old is far easier than a 15-year-old. Teaching a 15-year-old is far easier than teaching a 20-year-old. And teaching a young adult is definitely a lot more doable than teaching an adult who's in their 30s and 40s. The first step to setting up a boundary is to decide what you want the boundary to be about. Do you want it to be about meal times? Do you want it to be about certain activities? Look at your baby's day and look at which part of it are you very strict about the boundaries, which part of it has flexible boundaries. It's important to personalize boundaries, right? Everything is different for each family and each child. So try and make boundaries that work for you. For example, you may say that, when we go out shopping, to your baby, she can pick up one toy each time, right? Or you may say that one toy every second or third visit somewhere. Or you can say, sorry, no toys, and I would instead like you to get something to eat if you really want that. It's all individual, right? It's whatever works for you, your family, and your baby. This is what I mean by flexibility when setting up boundaries. I wanted Gauri to sit in her car seat. She sat in it. She's worn her seatbelt. But she wanted to remove this. She wanted to keep it on the side. Perfectly okay. Can't be 100% on everything, right? And this is where I am okay with bending some of the boundaries that I have made, as long as the main part of the boundary is being maintained. We are in that age of parenting where children play an equally important role in how we're bringing them up. But we can still set boundaries as the adults, as those of us who've had a little more experience, and help them go through all of these better from what we have learned. Boundaries can be as simple as this. Gauri is wanting me to cut up her idlis and give her, and the boundary I am creating here is that yes, I will cut it up, I will dip it in the curd and I will leave it on her plate and she will then pick it up, right?
If we hadn't set this boundary, then she would have said, you put it in my spoon, you put the spoon in my mouth, or you feed it directly, right? As an independent eater, I want her to continue to be independent. And so the boundary that I am setting here is, sure, I will make it into pieces, and then she puts it into her mouth. So sometimes maintaining simple boundaries helps a lot, and we don't have to have complicated things or very strict things, right? It can be as simple as this, that's all.
I used to be very worried about taking Gauri shopping. You know, what is she going to pick up? Will she create a ruckus if I don't pick up what she likes? But the beauty of setting boundaries and practicing it is that I can come out comfortably with her. We can even go to a toy store. She's not going to pick up unnecessary things. She understands that no is a no. And that has truly been a boon when we look at taking our children out and dealing with them, and, you know, not needing to bend down to their tantrums and feeling this burden of having to buy something every time we take them out. I don't like being, you know, very strict or, you know, constantly saying, do this, do that, don't do this. But I realize there are times when I just have to do that because I'm looking at the betterment of the child, right? And as the adult in the equation, I need to just put my foot down sometimes and say, sorry, you can't do this. And I'm only talking about important boundaries, right? We cannot make a boundary out of everything, but important boundaries. If we teach the child to accept that sorry, a no is a no, but, you know, let's do something else, let's talk about something else, you know, we can negotiate about a different thing. Maintaining this line that I have set, no, is not always easy. There are so many times when I wonder if it is really worth it, especially when we're going through all the tantrum phase and, you know, so much of strife going around between Gauri and me. 17, 19. Yes, it is worth all the heartache, because it means that I'm bringing up a baby who understands when something is not possible, right? We as adults know that everything that we want we can't get, and if we can help a child understand it faster and sort of in a less trained way, let's do that. And honestly, folks, from my work as a counselor, I can tell you that doing this in their childhood makes the process much easier for everyone involved, especially for the child. It is so much more difficult for a teenager to be told suddenly that, hey, you can't do it, you should not do it, you know, all of that. Rather, if in their childhood, if we can make all of these changes, if we can sort of say, you know, this is acceptable, this is not, we go through the process together at this stage, much easier. The concept of setting a boundary can sometimes seem like a very simple one, right? Like we're teaching a child to color within the lines, and it's as simple as that. But, you know, when we come to executing it, it can pose so many different challenges that it really helps for us to remember why we are setting these boundaries. And I hope that this video will, you know, help make this whole process simpler for you. You know, why we need to maintain boundaries, how we can set them, and how we can maintain them. More videos on how we can stay balanced and happy through our lives, through all of our various circumstances coming up over the next few weeks. Please do share all of this with your friends and family. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.